The United States, backed by NATO, faces off against Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea simultaneously. While the U.S. military is undoubtedly powerful, can it prevail against such a formidable coalition of adversaries? As the United States and NATO find themselves in conflict with not one, but four global superpowers, the world is forced to consider the implications of such a devastating confrontation. The might of the U.S. military is widely recognized, but doubts arise regarding their ability to triumph in a simultaneous fight against Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea. In this high-stakes scenario, the United States and NATO would face a multitude of challenges. They would need to deploy troops, secure supply lines, and manage resources on multiple fronts, stretching their military capabilities to the limit. Military strategists and analysts would have to contend with the daunting task of coordinating allied forces and devising tactics to counter the unique strategies and capabilities of each opposing nation. The conflict would likely see the deployment of cutting-edge technology, with both sides leveraging cyber warfare, advanced missile defense systems, and other high-tech weaponry in an attempt to gain the upper hand. Amidst the chaos of war, diplomatic efforts would continue as leaders around the globe try to broker peace and prevent further escalation. The outcome of these talks could be pivotal in determining the fate of millions of lives and the stability of the international order. Want to see more? You can now binge-watch all episodes of our series on our website. Get started today and explore the potential of the next world war. In this episode, we explore a bold move by North Korea's supreme leader Kim Jong-un, as he demands that South Korea's president, Yoon Suk-yeol, relinquishes power and unifies the Korean peninsula under North Korean rule. How would this audacious demand impact the already volatile global situation? As the United States and NATO find themselves engaged in conflict with multiple adversaries, Kim Jong-un seizes the opportunity to make a bold demand. He calls for the South Korean president, Yoon Suk-yeol, to step aside and surrender control to North Korea, paving the way for the unification of the Korean peninsula under his rule. This shocking demand sends shockwaves through South Korea and the international community. South Koreans, proud of their democracy and autonomy, are outraged and fearful of the prospect of falling under North Korean control. The demilitarized zone, DMZ, separating the two Koreas becomes a focal point of tension, as both sides increase their military presence along the border. Skirmishes and provocations from both sides escalate, heightening the risk of a full-scale conflict. The United States and NATO allies, already stretched thin by the conflicts with Russia, China, and Iran, must now grapple with this new crisis on the Korean peninsula. They face a delicate balancing act between supporting their South Korean ally and preventing further escalation in an already precarious global situation. Diplomatic efforts are mobilized in an attempt to defuse the crisis. The United Nations convenes emergency sessions, and world leaders scramble to find a solution that would prevent a catastrophic war between the two Koreas. Meanwhile, in South Korea, the people rally behind their government, showcasing their determination to resist North Korean demands. This show of unity and defiance strengthens the resolve of the South Korean leadership to stand firm against Kim Jong-un's ultimatum. The crisis also has ripple effects throughout the region, with countries like Japan and China closely monitoring the situation and preparing for potential fallout. Their actions could have significant implications for the balance of power in East Asia. In the midst of the rising tensions between North and South Korea, President Yoon Suk-yeol's response to Kim Jong-un's demand is met with a mix of fear and resolve by the South Korean people. While many are apprehensive about the possibility of war, there is also a strong sense of determination to defend their nation and preserve their way of life. President Yoon Suk-yeol's resolute address to the nation garners applause and support from the South Korean people. His message of South Korean sovereignty and unwavering commitment to democracy resonates deeply with the citizens, who feel a sense of pride in their nation and its values. Nevertheless, there is also an undeniable undercurrent of fear and uncertainty as to what the future may hold. As the South Korean military mobilizes for war, the impact of the escalating tensions reverberates throughout the country. Stores struggle to maintain stocks of essential supplies as people prepare for the possibility of conflict. Emergency drills become more frequent and comprehensive, and families take additional precautions to ensure their safety in the event of an attack. Despite the pervasive fear and uncertainty, the South Korean people display resilience and unity in the face of the crisis. They steadfastly support their government and military, fully aware that their nation's survival hinges on their determination to defend it. Meanwhile, the international community keeps a close watch on the unfolding situation on the Korean peninsula, with each country evaluating its own interests and the potential impact on regional stability. The United States and NATO allies extend their support and assistance to South Korea, while also endeavoring to prevent further escalation between the two Koreas. Diplomatic efforts persist, as world leaders and international organizations work tirelessly to resolve the crisis through peaceful means. The United Nations convenes emergency sessions, and negotiators from various countries engage in high-stakes diplomacy to find a peaceful solution to the standoff. Despite these efforts, tensions continue to rise, and North Korea's aggressive posture only exacerbates concerns about the potential for war. The deployment of additional missile defense systems in South Korea and surrounding areas provides a measure of security, but there is no guarantee of safety in the face of an armed conflict. Amidst the uncertainty and fear, the South Korean people remain united and determined to defend their nation against any threat. They stand firmly behind their government and military, prepared to confront whatever challenges lie ahead, demonstrating unwavering resolve and unity in the face of adversity. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay informed about the latest World War III worst-case scenario episodes. Thank you for watching. To stay up to date with our latest releases, all you've got to do is follow us across our various social media platforms. We're talking Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you name it, we're there. Thank you for watching our channel. There's a whole lot more where that came from. Interested in binge-watching all episodes today? Head over to our website to access our entire media library using the URL link in the description. Ready to test your World War II knowledge? What was the second city the United States dropped a nuclear bomb on during World War II? Provide your answer or response in the YouTube comment box below. Stay tuned for the right answer. The answer is Nagasaki, Japan. As tensions between North and South Korea escalate, North Korea decides to take drastic measures to assert its dominance. In a calculated and devastating move, Kim Jong-un orders a series of artillery strikes against Seoul, targeting both South Korean and U.S. military installations in the city, aiming to cripple their defense capabilities. The first wave of attacks catches Seoul off guard, causing widespread panic and chaos among the city's residents. The skies above the city are filled with the trails of incoming projectiles, as people scramble to find shelter. Air raid sirens blare throughout the city, signaling the beginning of a terrifying ordeal that the residents had hoped would never come. The devastation caused by the North Korean attack is immense, with military and civilian infrastructure suffering significant damage. Buildings lay in ruins and smoke fills the air, painting a grim picture of the devastation. The South Korean and U.S. forces face an uphill battle to contain the destruction and minimize casualties as they work around the clock to maintain control and order in the city. As the attacks persist, South Korean and U.S. forces retaliate, launching counterstrikes against North Korean military installations near the border. The conflict escalates rapidly, with both sides exchanging heavy artillery fire, turning the once peaceful landscape into a war zone. The sound of explosions and gunfire reverberate throughout the region, signaling the intensifying violence. In the midst of this chaos, the international community scrambles to address the escalating crisis. World leaders and international organizations call for an immediate ceasefire, urging both sides to halt hostilities and engage in diplomatic efforts to resolve the crisis. Emergency meetings are held, and mediators are dispatched in a desperate attempt to prevent further bloodshed. In response to the escalating crisis on the Korean peninsula, Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida makes a critical decision. He announces that Japan will withdraw its military forces from the Chinese coastal zone in order to focus on supporting its ally, South Korea, in this time of need. Japanese military personnel stationed along the Chinese coast swiftly pack up their equipment and prepare for redeployment. Their actions reflect the urgency of the situation and the importance of redirecting their resources to defend their South Korean allies. As Japanese forces make their way toward South Korea, they are welcomed by South Korean and U.S. military personnel. The increased military support from Japan bolsters the combined efforts to defend against North Korea's aggression. The Japanese Navy joins the U.S. and South Korean naval forces in the waters surrounding the Korean peninsula, ready to provide crucial support in the event of further North Korean provocations. In addition to military support, Japan sends much-needed humanitarian aid and supplies to South Korea, helping to alleviate the suffering of those affected by the North Korean attacks. As Japan redirects its military forces to support South Korea, the combined efforts of multiple nations working together create a formidable force. This united front serves as a powerful symbol of their determination to defend their democratic values and protect the region from further aggression. The United States President publicly commits to providing support to South Korea in the face of North Korean aggression. However, behind the scenes, U.S. military command faces difficult decisions on how and when to deploy available military assets, given the ongoing conflicts with Russia, China, and Iran. High-ranking U.S. military officials gather in a situation room, discussing and evaluating various options for deployment and support to the Korean peninsula, all while juggling their commitments to other global conflicts. As the situation becomes more dire, U.S. military intelligence detects North Korean forces preparing crude nuclear materials. This chilling discovery raises immediate concerns about the potential for a nuclear strike and its far-reaching global implications. The stakes have never been higher, and the world watches with bated breath, hoping for a peaceful resolution to the crisis. Want to see more? You can now binge-watch all episodes of our series on our website. Get started today and explore the potential of the next world war. Arm yourself with the power of advanced AI for video creation, high-quality copy generation, a diverse range of freelance services, top-notch hosting options, and the ultimate online privacy protection. Don't miss out on exclusive discounts and promotions. Sign up today by clicking on the links in the description. Your journey towards creating compelling content starts now.